Khamzat Chimaev just steamrolled Dricus du Plessis for 5 rounds like a human backpack with cardio, collected a shiny middleweight belt, and then got dunked on by Diaz, who needed only 2 words: can't fight. Efficiency meets efficiency. The man wrestled, and the man roasted. Dricus barely touched air, let alone Khamzat, while the canvas probably needs a chiropractor after all that top control. It was a shutout decision so wide you could drive a team bus through it. Dominance? Absolutely. Crowd-pleasing striking fiesta? Not exactly, unless you love grip strength. Here's the twist. Conor McGregor briefly holstered the flamethrower to congratulate Chimaev, which is like a solar eclipse in MMA Twitter terms. Meanwhile, Diaz went full Stockton poetry slam with 2 syllables that landed harder online than most of Dricus's punches did in the cage. Diaz then retweeted Kale Sonnen suggesting du Plessis was up after 3, which, sure, if you scored for invisible jabs and high-quality survival. Look, Kale's takes are like surprise submission attempts, sudden, entertaining, and occasionally catching everyone off guard for pure drama. Context check. Diaz and Chimaev were supposed to scrap in 2022, then chaos, backstage scuffles, presser cancelled, and a monster weight miss by Khamzat. Chimaev crushed Kevin Holland in 133 seconds. Diaz guillotined Tony Ferguson and waved goodbye to the UFC, but apparently not to the grudge. If you wanted striking exchanges, this was a wrestling masterclass instead. Chimaev imposed, smothered, and scorecard suffocated. Not pretty for highlight reels, but terrifyingly effective. The belt doesn't care if it's a jab cross or a mat return. Gold shines the same under fluorescent lights. Somewhere between the cage fence and a jiu-jitsu seminar, Khamzat Chimaev hugged a UFC belt into existence while Dricus du Plessis counted ceiling lights for 5 rounds. Dominance? Yep. Thrills? Not so much. Enter Diaz, who parachuted in with a 2-word roast that echoed louder than the judges' scorecards. Diaz typed, "Can't fight," mid-mauling, as if he'd set a reminder for when top control exceeds recommended daily allowance. It wasn't subtle, it was Stockton poetry. If Chimaev's game plan was blanket with intent, Nate's reply was fold the laundry and post the meme. Efficiency everywhere.